Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Icenia campaign. Last time, we invaded Hibernia, and let me close that. We'll get to you in a moment, Brigantia. Last time, we invaded Hibernia and took over some of this northern land, discovering that we could not actually turn the Hibernian tribes into feudatories. Now, the reason I had the Brigantia UI open is because of this point I'm about to talk about for a moment here. I think, in retrospect, that actually turning tribes into feudatories doesn't really make any sense, and I'm not sure why I was able to do that with Brigantia. And the reason for this is because feudatory arrangements seem to be something that make more sense for a more civilized style of nation like republic or monarchy. Them being a tribe, I don't really think it makes a lot of sense to have the level of complex relationship that the feudatory arrangement gives us. And either way, whether or not that makes sense for tribes in general, or whether or not there was a specific reason I could do it with Brigantia, my feudatory relationship with Brigantia is actually imperiled right now because, as I talked about last episode, I plan to invade North and use my existing cast a spell. I don't remember where I got these from, by the way. These might be just left over from the previous Northern Wars. On Taxalia or Karnarnaki. I don't know exactly which one I'll target. Probably Taxalia, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll figure that out in a moment. However, if I were to declare war on either of them, Brigantia would refuse to join, and this gets interesting. So it's minus, minus 1014, positive 8. The positive 8's from their opinion of me, and the malice is from having a border. I don't know if that's with me or with them. I don't know why that matters at all. I'm calling them as one of my co-belligerents, so that's a very mysterious malice. If you know in the comments why having a border affects this decision from them at all, please let me know. Bad stability, that's referencing their stability. My stability is going just fine. At least I think that's what that references. Can I see their stability? Actually, their stability isn't bad. I guess it's technically below 50, as is mine, but I feel like that shouldn't affect their decision-making at all. But the bigger thing here is disloyal subject. Now, that's 1,000. That's going to completely control it, whether or not anything else is modified. This is the loyalty mechanic with subjects, which we haven't really talked about too much yet in this series. And we get a base of plus 10. That's pretty good. Notably, I should also quickly mention, like I talked about, I think last episode or the episode before, this tribute mechanic only affects their opinion and not their loyalty. If this affected their loyalty, that would actually be quite a bit more powerful, and so I suppose the plus 50 opinion isn't actually as overpowered as I may have suspected it might be, but either way, we're obviously going to still keep this, because they're not paying us anyways. But the bigger issue here, so base of 10, that's your standard amount. Opinion of Overlord. Well, we've been raising their opinion, and it is now in the positives, but it is, I guess, not high enough to not have that malice. But then, power relative to Overlord, minus 40. What in the world does that mean? Power relative to Overlord? I completely disagree that they have a substantial power imbalance with me. I suspect this exists to basically say, like, if a nation that's just a little weaker than you is your subject, they're going to be pretty disloyal. Fair enough. Brigantia does not have a power base relative to me whatsoever. Putting aside just the size of the nation, their population is barely anything. 21 population. I have many, many, many times that. I have hundreds of times that. So I have like 150 times their population. And even just putting aside population, if we're just talking about levy raisable population, they only have 6 Brigantics, unless they've integrated the Vododinians, which if I was playing as them, I would do. So I don't even know what... I'm flabbergasted by this. So this is irritating, but what this does mean is an unexpected opportunity. Perhaps that's not the right word, but that's what we're going to look at it as. If I use my claim and I declare war on Taxalia as an example, and Brigantia declines, under this agreement, if it says they join me in wars, does this simply mean that I can call them in optionally, or does this mean they must join me or else their agreement is breached? Now, if they breach the agreement, does that cancel the feudatory arrangement? And if the feudatory arrangement is canceled, does that set me at war with them? If you think about it, if they're my feudatory, you would think that if they cancel the agreement, it would start a war between me and them. because it's like a vassalage agreement, and they can't just leave the agreement. It even says in here, Brigantia cannot cancel this relationship on their own. So this gets very confusing, because if they decline and then they enter a war with me, does it count as a defensive war of me to them? Does it count as me offensively declaring war on them, which would be extremely unfair, I feel, for them to break the agreement and then I'm the war declarant. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen if they're disloyal and don't join the war. It may just be that they don't join, in which case that's still fine. I do still have military access, so unless that also gets canceled, in which case that actually be more of a serious problem than their feudatory agreement being canceled. So I think what might happen, because I've never been in this situation before, I think they might just not join the war and there's some sort of diplomacy hit. But I don't know if our contracts are affected. If this gets canceled, but the military access stays, that's okay. We can come back to this. I mean, I do eventually just want to take the land myself. If it sets me at war with them and I can just take over their land, that's fine. I think because there's so much uncolonized land, it's actually just more of a hassle to have vassals on the Isles. I may have been a little I may have overcomplicated things by trying to do vassals. I need to remember, this is not Europa Universalis, this is not Crusader Kings. In this game, these vassal agreements are way more rudimentary and aren't really as important. And, I mean, we're going to take aggressive expansion no matter what we do. It's not worth it to deal with the vassal BS mechanics. So I think what we're going to do, not right now, because of course our levy is not ready to be raised. We still need a few months here. But once it is ready, we're going to be able to declare war. And who do I target? Carnonakia or Taixelia? There is effectively no difference. Probably want to target Taixelia, because I think a little easier to get to their lands. They're allied with each other, so it doesn't actually matter at all either way. I think I'd rather actually go to war with Carnonakia, because they have more land that borders my... I guess it doesn't matter at all. I'll target probably Carnonakia in that case. Okay. And because Brigantia seemingly won't join the war, unless that modifier simply means they wouldn't voluntarily join the war, that check mark, I mean. If they're still forced to join the war, then all of this discussion is invalidated. But this is Imperator Rome right here, is spending 5 minutes speculating about how 3 layers of mechanics will interact with each other. I mean, this is why I play this game. I love this. This is what gives my life purpose, honestly. But so if you don't enjoy this, I don't know what you're doing this deep into this insane, super long series of mine. Anyways, let's actually resume this game, holy moly, and just get going. The other thing I looked at in between episodes was what to spend my money on. And honestly, I am still just waiting for Donwyn to... her life to kind of come to its end here. Segowax is actually ailing. Yeah, everyone is just really old and sickly. I want to use my war chest that I built up here. Ooh! Wow, that was a wild voice crack right there. What is this? Colonizable territory. Look at this, I can colonize Hibernia. Oh my good lord. This is exciting. How can I do this? Really? Okay, I guess I can send them from Ablania. Did I set up a colony in Ablania? I should have rewatched the last episode before I started doing this episode. Why do I always forget what I'm doing? Yeah, okay, I colonized Ablania. Okay, that's how I can do this. Yeah, I was thinking, what in the world? These are inland tiles as well? What? Okay, so that's hemp and that's grain. Oh, this is the wrong location too, the wrong province. Sorry, let's do the one that's in the province. Nagnatia Orientalis. Let's go ahead and colonize them. It cost 10 gold, absolutely fine. Very good. Alright, so we sent over 2 Hibernian tribesmen and 1 Icenia citizen to rule over them, as it should be. And our Hibernian territory is expanding just like that. That might be one of our first colonizations we've been able to pull off. I think we colonized Manawia, but yeah, that's pretty exciting. Also, over here, the other colony targets. This one, we still need Gabracentum to have more Icenia, which is pretty far away from happening. It has, I think, yeah, it has 1 Icenia citizen, but then a bunch of other cultures for the other groups. So, although I should note, Icenia culture is spreading quite substantially. Now the southern half of our nation is almost fully Iceni, this, or at least almost fully majority Iceni. This is the benefit, as I've said before, of having cultural assimilation be the policy everywhere all at the same time. Yes, I'm missing out on possibly tens of gold per month by not doing other economic policies, but in the long term, having the Isles be entirely Iceni is going to be very helpful for levies, for just cultural micromanagement. We're having a hard enough time as it is with the just assimilating everyone to Iceni. When we eventually have overseas territory on the mainland, having the Isles be this Iceni stronghold where there's just Iceni and maybe slaves of other cultures is going to be ideal. Anyways, let's resume. So basically, once the succession happens, I'm going to use some of my money to try and stabilize things, because I think there's going to be some power-based problems. Donwan has a pretty big power base, but her successor, which of course I should know off the top of my head, and I don't, successor is actually her husband, Segawak, so that's not preferable, but then the second... Okay, that's not... Well, This is... Actually, yeah. This is just some guy in the... This is the researcher. This is some guy in the nation. Why is my preferred guy so far down? Boyrix. How can I reduce your power base? Can I pay off your veterans? You don't have any. Where's your power base coming? You're just the researcher. I need to do some more naval battles. I guess my time to boost Boyrix's succession chance is running out. It's okay if he's not the successor, ultimately. I mean, we're going to have another chance if Segowax becomes the monarch, because then there'll be another pretty quick succession afterwards. So we'll worry about that later. And once there is a succession, I will take some time to look over all the important characters, like I did in the first episode, and talk about the state of all of their traits. Something I know probably don't need to do, but I would like to do. Embrace piracy, okay. Having decided to work with the pirates, when did we do that? What? This is news to me. Donwyn, what are you doing? Stay off of Pirate Bay, Donwyn. She's going on the deep web, boys. Britannia has sent envoys to their captain and established diplomatic relations. The pirates have shown interest in our overtures of cooperation and claim they would be willing to work with us in exchange for our protection. The question remains, however, as to how we would prefer to best make use of the pirates' skills. We could designate all of Brigantia a safe haven for pirates. I'm sure Brigantia would love that. They're already disloyal enough, and we're going to just send them an email. Hey, heads up. We've designated you a safe haven for pirates. Suck it. Suck it up. You're just going to have to make do with that. And in return, they will protect our trade while forcibly diverting our neighbors' trade ships to our ports, or they will share their expertise and experience with our shipwrights and sailors. I don't know where this is coming from. Maybe I did an event a few episodes ago that I forgot about, but okay. Again, a navy in Mar Germanicum. What? I don't know what that means exactly. Is that like a full 20-stack navy, or like a couple of ships? Or province of Brigantia, which I recall is just... Wait. Oh, right, Brigantia, the province, is this one up here. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry, hold on. I hate to respond to texts while I'm recording, but my girlfriend is asking if she can come stay over, and I can't not respond to that ASAP, so just one moment. Oh, hold on. I have Premiere now, so I can actually cut this out. Holy moly, look at that. Anyways, so sorry for that cut there. Had to respond to a text. My girlfriend was asking if she could stay over, and I had to pause the recording to go ahead and respond to that. You know how it is, but anyways, let's go ahead. So this is just for the province of Brigantia, which is our northernmost current province, or future not northernmost province, and pop growth and commerce in Brigantia. I think the commerce here is, let's see here. Commerce actually might matter a fair bit. We are exporting things from up here, as opposed to ship recruit speed and ship. I don't even recruit ships from Brigantia. In fact, I can't even recruit ships from Brigantia. I don't have any ports up there, but I do get a navy in that location, Mare Germanicum. That's one of the oceans. When it says navy, I don't have any idea how large that navy is or what that means. So it's a bit of a gamble to pick that option. I think just for consistency, we're going to go ahead and pick the option that gives us pop growth and commerce. That probably is going to make the most sense. They will kindly invite passing trade ships to stop in our ports. All right, very good. Next time I might take the Navy option just to kind of see what happens, which is, of course, is a great reason to make strategic decisions when you're in charge of a nation. All right, I think we're... Wait, 21st of February, not the 2nd. Oh my gosh. I can read numbers, I swear to God. I know it doesn't look like it sometimes, but it's true. Anyways, you're still disloyal. Should have expected that. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and test and see what happens here. Also, let's go ahead and get our... Should our Navy be involved at all? You have a few ships. Okay, there are going to be ships happening, so let's go ahead and raise the naval cost. And I got a comment on one of my videos saying that I can actually raise the levy elsewhere in the nation through a handy tooltip, which is here. So let's see here. And I can also, apparently, I can raise the levy before I declare the war. I don't know why, like, my CK Crusader Kings, like 3 brain, always thinks I need to be at war to raise the levy, but this is ancient times. They don't know yet about feudal contracts, so we can raise the levy whenever we damn well please. Let's try this out, actually. Let's try raising the levy over here at Dictium. Oh, there it is. Well, that was easy. It just spawned into existence when I clicked the button. Okay, that's handy. Well, now the levy's raised, so we kind of have to go to war, otherwise this will be awkward. Okay, and this levy here needs longer because we raised it more recently. That's totally fine. Yeah, so 10k should be enough. Shouldn't have an issue with that, I think. Not you. What are we looking at here? Okay, that's 1k. Wait, no, that's their military. What am I... Why am I derping out so hard? So, it's their military tech level. What am I looking for here? Where is that say their soldier number? Why can I not remember where to look for that? Can I not see that? That might not be info I'm able to see. Okay, either way, I'm not expecting there to be any trouble here. Even if I guess the only possibility for trouble here is if Brigantia goes to war with me as part of them breaking the feudatory agreement. So either they'll join. So there's a couple options. Let's actually just start this and then I'll talk. So we'll do this to take. Probably want to take the Texalia part. Yeah, the Texalia part is the part that's closer. Okay, take Texalia. So Texalia, the nation, will join. So that's what we want to see. So what'll happen here is, so option A, Brigantia declines to consensually join, but then they're forced to join by the treaty, which is fine, and that actually helps because if they join, that's the best case scenario. I'm able to feed them the land like I planned originally, so that just resolves everything. The second option is they decline, and that's just how that works, but the treaties all stay the same, in which case I have military access. I'll just take the land myself, and then when I integrate Brigantia or conquer them, or however else it happens, I'll just give the land to them, or I guess at that point I'll have their land, so... And unless they're able to buy it from me for 0, which they still aren't doing with Manawia, we'll see if that ever works, but if it doesn't, all the land will be mine eventually, so it should be fine. The third option is they decline, and then all the treaties are broken, in which case I'll have to sail my army up there, which is awkward, but it's still worth it to take that land. And this way, Brigantia then becomes my obvious next war target, so that is fine. And the last option is they break all the treaties, and then a war starts between me and them. And this is the option where I'm actually in a military disadvantage. I don't know if I'll have trouble dealing with all 3 of these armies at the same time, just with all the numbers adding up. Probably it will be fine if they all have 2,000 men in they're all the little separate armies. That's only 6,000 in the form of like 10 armies running around, so it's not even 6,000 moving as a blob. My 10k should be able to deal with it, especially because the Brigantia and the Caledonian sort of faction armies won't be war allies. It'll be two separate wars, I think. So let's just see what happens here. So let's attack. We're attacking. Let's see here. Yeah, we're attacking Karnakia, and we're taking the Texalian and Province land. Okay. Okay, so the Pratani local power of Karnakia rallied together. Okay, so it looks like Brigantia did not join the war, but they are still my feudatory. Okay. If I... Let's see here. I can't force them into the war somehow. That's fine. I mean, what I care about is still having the military access conditionally granted, so that's fine. I probably could have summoned these guys further north, actually. Why did I summon them here? Oh, well. I'll have to move them over to be picked up by the Navy anyways, so let's actually have the Navy zoom on over here to come pick them up. It should be safe for them to recover their morale as they move. Even with almost no morale, fighting a force 1/10 their size, which is each of their smaller navies, they should still be fine. Obviously, that's not preferable, so we'll hope for the best here. And then should I boost my army maintenance while I'm looking at this? I think that's definitely not necessary here. I probably could have had this be decreased when I wasn't at war, but we'll do that after this war. We can afford to make small micro mistakes with our budget, with our current treasury, which is not the... Oh, hello, what's this? Oh, this is just the strata... Okay, I always get this event whenever I start the game. Yeah, that's fine. Just the reminder that I can form a stratocratic monarchy. I'm aware. Thank you for the heads up on that, though. Anyways. Oh, there's mercenaries living here now. That's actually kind of handy, having those mercs there. Could be good in the future. Right, these guys are coming around. Let's go down to lower speed. Donwyn is leading the forces herself. She still does have 7 marshals, so even though she is an elder statesman at this point, she is fine to be in charge. I'm so glad I have this port now because my naval range is way better. This is much more preferable. In fact, actually, setting up a port over here on the north eastern coast is probably my next port decision to make. Where to put it, though? Probably in Dictium as soon as I can. And just to check, yeah, you still can't join the war. Yeah. So this didn't affect the feudatory. So what did this actually affect at all? Maybe the unruly feudatory is the modifier that I'm looking for here, because I imagine it would only affect my opinion of them, which of course doesn't matter because I am not bound by my own nation's opinion of their nation. At least I don't think so. I guess I have to like. Actually, maybe I am. Is there like an insult mechanic? Maybe I keep getting the Paradox games all confused with each other and all the little mechanics, how they all work together. Anyways, finally arrive over here. Okay, they are gonna just okay, yeah, should have remembered. They're going to just march through Brigantia because I have military access, so this whole trip was possibly a bit of a waste with my ships here. That's fine. I can use my ships to move further up the coast faster, so that's handy at least. Oh no. Oh no! Shoot. Okay, it's happening right now. Okay. Keep it together, man. This is a big moment. We bring sad news. Donwyn Dewika died from the advanced stage of a venereal disease at age of 75. Donwyn, you fox. I didn't even know about that. She was the queen of Pratania. Yes, indeed she was. She was the head of the Dewikai family. Whew. Death during wartime, the one thing I did not want to happen. But Segawax the First, Dewikis, rose to the throne and will now rule our glorious nation. 3 marshal, oh no, and he's in charge of the army too. Oh no. 4 charisma, what is that stat called? Finesse. 10 charisma, okay. Tyranny, no thank you with that charisma. 3 zeal, the gods have never heard of him. The gods are weeping over the passing of Donwyn Dewika. She's up there in the clouds. She is gone. 25th of May, 502. What a absolute legend. Will pouring out with the boys for this tragedy, but she has earned her place in the history books. Look at her. Her legacy is the monolithic great power of Britannia, an absolute legendary chief. We will never have a leader with the same kind of impact as her. Probably not, at least. We'll aspire to have one, because of course that will be a sign of our success. And we have a stability drop. I should have expected that, actually, but I'm glad I had some stability banked up for such an event. New ruler and monarchy impact. Okay, so this is now suddenly quite a lot to take in. So Segowax is now the leader. Who is the successor? Donna Stubicus? Who are you? I've never heard of you before. Oh, you're the son of Segowax. Okay. So I saw a pretty big number there. What was that about? Is son of ruler. Okay, so this is interesting. So for the last 10 episodes, I've been saying, why is my monarchy not using primogenitor succession like I thought it would? I guess it just needed the first new person in the monarchy to come into power for that to sort of kick in, because now the son of the ruler has the super giant succession support that I was expecting from the start, which means the dream of Boyrix becoming the monarch is now basically gone because he's not a blood relation of Donwyn's family. But what this also means is now all of Donwyn's sons are in the line. It looks like it's not going to be gender neutral. Is that the case? You do have a daughter. Is it because you're the governor? That shouldn't matter at all, though. In fact, the daughter is the first in line. I guess I don't have gender neutral succession, even though when I was a tribe I did. That's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, agnatic primogenitor. Eldest male child. I have to change it to... where would that be? Yeah. Well, actually, hold on. Agnatic, cognatic. So actually, this is only men. Okay. So I'll have to look at this later when we have the political influence. But yeah, so a lot of stuff has just happened here. Is it perhaps even worth piecing out? They wouldn't accept it. We can beat their army and then finish the war without taking anything really quickly. May not be worth it, though. Okay, there's so much going on. I'm actually going to do something quite rare and actually end this episode early. I know this is an unusual step in this often overlong episode series, but there's so much that has to be addressed with this change and so much weight behind what this means for our nation that I think it's actually worth me ending the episode and spending a little while in between episodes looking over the situation, so at the start of the next episode, I can go ahead and get things going and have a plan of action for what we're going to do with the politics, because, like I said, there's going to be a lot of character management with this change and with the new state of our solidified succession laws. That's actually quite a big thing that I wasn't anticipating. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you would like to, in fact, I'd encourage you to do so, leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on Donwyn Dewika. I'm going to do this whenever our leader dies. I could have done this for other major characters like the other chiefs in the Old Chiefs episode, but Donwyn has been the centerpiece of the series. The first episode was named after her. I'm actually a little kind of tearing up thinking about it, so I'm not going to talk about this for too long. Don't want to weep openly on the series, although maybe that'd be okay. Let's explore some vulnerable masculinity here. But Donwyn is an absolute legend. I'm going to never forget her, honestly, in the series. But thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment letting me know what Donwyn meant to you, and I'll see you guys next time on the Icenia campaign.